Good evening, race fans. Urban Pirate here with Black Flag E-Racing. Black Flag E-Racing TV, and here we are for Thursday evening's European Open GR3, and we are live from the very, very popular Sardegna A Reverse, and I say that with a hint of sarcasm because it doesn't. A lot of people are liking this course very much, which should make for some interesting racing. Hopefully we'll see some surprises out front. We've got a relatively sizable lobby today, which is always good. So I think without further ado, let's have a quick look at the racetrack. I think that's where we'll go first. And we'll see who's out there first. In fact, no, what we're going to do first, we're going to see where we are after round one. So here we go. So round one at Goodwood, and anyone that watched that stream will know we had an absolute nightmare with server issues, so people disappearing off into the pits and then reappearing back, and a whole manner of rubbishness. But that is where we currently stand. Alpha, the guy we're currently watching, he won that race. He is currently leading. No, he's not. What am I talking about? He's talking rubbish. The premise of this tournament essentially is a European tournament. You're driving European cars, so when you drive on your home track, you get double points. So despite Alpha winning the first time out, it was a British track. So when Digo, who actually finished second, leads the leaderboard at the moment because he was driving a British car. He was driving the McLaren 650S. Getting second, also in that McLaren 650S, 28 points. So quite a big gap at the moment, but we're in Italy now, so anyone that is driving an Italian car will get double bubble today, although I don't think anybody is. So I think there's no double bubble points today. Alpha, who won last time out, he got fastest lap and he won the race. He's in the AMG GT3 as well, singer. Cool Runnings came fourth, Avalon came third last time. So Avalon is fourth in the championship, 911. Audriox in the McLaren is also in fourth. Joint points. Audriox obviously getting double for driving a British track. Cool Runnings in fifth in the 911. Etanas in the 911 was sixth. He's sixth, I should say. Seventh is Wiggy. He was driving a Bago Spanners, which to anyone else is the absolutely fucking awful Audi R8. We have agreed to let him change his car, but it does mean that he won't get a double bubble because he's gone for the jack. So he's sacrificing the double bubble in order to get rid of what is an absolute pile of bullshit. Old Man Jay was 8th last time out, and Kevin was 9th place in the AMG, you can see here. So that is where we stand from last week's race. But this is a new race, new day. We've got some new runners today. So let's have a little look at who we've got. So there he is, Kevin77. He moans a lot about this track, but for someone who moans about the track, he's currently the fastest man out there, 1:39.4, and he is running the absolute phenomenal car. It's the AMG GT3. There is Alpha. Alpha, as we know, was the winner last time out. He is running also that phenomenal car, and the livery on that is brilliant. Don't see any black flags up there or sponsor stuff. I'm going to call this out now. We're round 2. Round 3, we're going to start expecting to see at least a sponsor logo on the car. At the end of the day, they are funding this. So please guys, stick the sponsor logo on the car. Otherwise, they'll take away my funding and we'll have to do this for free. There is Snowfly VR46. He is gone for the Porsche 911. Of course he has. Beautiful car, Porsche. Arminus GT in the Volkswagen Beetle. Lots of German cars out there. Lots of German cars. Looking forward to next week. Which, I don't want next week's Barcelona, I'm not talking about. Looking forward to a few weeks' time when we do finally hit the Nürburgring GP track. Audriox in that McLaren got his double bubble points last week. Now it's all about track position. So 5 minutes to start is the message. GMAC running the Citroen. It is the Citroen. No, it's not. It's the Mazda. That's the Mazda. Really good car, that. So he's. I don't know why he's running the Mazda because it's a European Championship. Should have pointed that out to him, but it's too late now. He's running the race already. So he will sacrifice any double points for running a non-European car in a European race. Not quite sure why he's opted to go that way, but there we go. Yeah, the Maserati exhibition he's gone for. So nobody's pointed it out yet, but I will be sure to point it out many times during the stream, and he'll feel like a bit of a fool when he realises that he stands no chance really without a double bubble. Wiggy, as we know, had to change his car. He just couldn't drive that, and let's face it, no one wants to drive that bag of spanners. It's an absolute pile of shit. What am I doing? I'm messing around with settings. I don't need to. So he's gone for the Jaguar. Excuse me. Having a shout out, of course, 911. What else would you expect him to drive? Grizz Troopers, he's in the 911 also. And there's me. If out of interest, I would be in the 911, but I'm not. So there we go. So we've got 10 runners this evening. Thought we had more than that signed up actually, but 10 will be. Also Wendigo. I forgot about Wendigo, also in the McLaren 650S. And just look at that on the side. Absolutely love it. Wendigo, you are my favourite for Wednesday. He's currently third fastest by the looks of things. Shall we have a look at representative times actually? Why has he not given me all of the information? Oh, he's not now, that's right. So, Stormfly, currently the fastest man on the track now with a 139.3. Kevin with a 139.4. Wendigo, we need to see what he's got yet. Audiox with a 142.2. Wiggy can't see his time because Sony aren't very good at doing stuff. Oh, how you doing, Jason? You alright? Guess what? GMAC came into a European Championship driving a Japanese car. He's going to feel a bit silly when he realises if he'd driven a German car or an Italian car, he'd be on double points today. But each to their own, eh? Audiox 142.2. None of those guys in the pits, we can see what representative times they've done, but we will be starting very, very soon. And here's hoping I don't have to jump out of the wall back in again at the start, as I have done in every race so far this week, because of the problems with the service. And we have got to the bottom actually of the problem with the service. It seems to be a frame rate issue. So essentially what's happened is Polyphony and Sony have made a game for the PS5, then realised that they wanted to make it also for the PS4, but haven't taken into account that there is significantly different processing power between the two consoles. So they've made a game that ideally should be played on the PS5. They've kind of dumbed it down for the PS4, but then when anyone in a PS5 starts a lobby, anyone with an older PS4 that doesn't have the processing power can't get into the so that is one of the big ones, which means that we're kind of stuck with relying on one or two PS4 owners to run the lobbies for us. And obviously we want to thank Avalon for that. Just a very quick message, we have lost one of ours today. Nick John Baker decided to move on to pastures new, and obviously we wish you all the best in the future and hope you find what you're looking for in your next adventure. Obviously, you are welcome to make your way back here if you so wish. There will always be a place open for you, but Godspeed, my friend, Godspeed. So at the moment, Stormfly is looking like a man to beat, and I've got to say, everybody's unhappy with this track. The yellow peril. Yellow peril. Which one's the yellow peril? That one. Is that the car you're talking about? The Volkswagen Beetle. The yellow peril, if that's what you're talking about, it's Arminus driving the Volkswagen Beetle. Just so you know, Jason, Wiggy, good evening. How you doing, Rollies? You're not racing tonight, buddy? I was not to see you out there. I thought you were going to join us this evening. So we are, we're half past, so bang on, pretty much going to start anytime soon. Yeah, as I was saying, people weren't happy about the reverse. I mean, not a lot of people like Sardegna anyway. It's not the most popular track. But because it's European, we needed some European tracks. This is, for all intents and purposes, a European track. And let's face it, who hasn't done Monza over and over and over again? Something a little bit different. Just mix it up a little bit for everyone. Right, so we know where everyone is. At the moment, so that's where we stand. Wendigo. Where is he? There he is. He is currently the man to beat. He's at the top of the leaderboard. Why am I not seeing Cool Runnings? Right, let me so I've been told I'm not seeing Cool Runnings, but he's on the screen. So I'm going to jump out quickly. Don't start yet. Don't start without me. I'm going to jump out and I'm going to jump back in and see if I can find Cool Runnings. Maybe Cool Runnings needs to jump out and jump back in. Can everyone else see Cool Runnings? That's the question. Awesome. Make sure, Rollis, can you do me a favour, buddy? Can you make sure that your guys get the black flag and the sponsor logos on their car, please? And sign in before the race so we know they're coming. Because obviously we've only got a limited lobby. So we need to make sure we've got the space for everyone. Thank you very much, mate. Right, let's try again. Do we now see Cool Runnings? Doesn't look like we do. So if anyone can jump on the chat quickly, can you let them guys know that Cool Runnings isn't showing up? And maybe he needs to jump out and jump back in again. Let's tell him. Oh no, he is showing now. There he is. He is there. I missed him. So we've got, well, we've still only got 10 runners. So who else is missing? Oh well, it is what it is. More we keep messing around, the longer it's going to take. So, we're just waiting for the start, really. We've got GMAC, we've got Wiggy, Kevin, Avalon, Arminis from LTU, Alpha from LTU, Stormfly, Mr. Cool Runnings in the... now that beautiful 911, you just take a look at that. That is the thing of beauty. That is one of the most beautiful cars I've done a livery for. And he absolutely fell in love with it, and I had to give it to him. To be fair, I do still drive the 911 with that livery on because it's so good. But I amended it for him, and he now has my beautiful livery on his 911. But he does owe me some jerk chicken, don't forget. So everyone just got to jump out, jump back in again to make sure everyone is involved. All Jocks there he is from the LTU, Grizz Troopers and Wendigo from LTU, and Arminis as well from LTU. So I'll jump out as well just in case. Tick in, tick out again just to make sure. There we go. See, server issues all the time. We get these bloody things. It's getting beyond the joke, really, qualifying. You need to kind of pull your figure out and sort your shit out. So hopefully we're going to get underway very soon. I'm assuming that was a repeat of the earlier message, not the same one. So everyone has gone out. I think everyone's going to come back in. Hopefully. Let's wait till everyone's disappeared and click that red X. Let me red X as well. There we go. I expect so. Right. Are we all back in the room successfully? Hopefully so. Who's on track? No one at the moment. So how many do we now have? We now have the 11. So that is everybody, I think. So I think we can now get underway. I think the problem will being are the qualifying times going to stand? I certainly hope so, or are they just going to be all over the place? So here we go. We are waiting for the lights. Kevin on pole. 1, 2, 3. No, don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. Don't do that to me. There we go. I had to do it. Stormfly is away. Everyone's had to leave. Restarts. Don't know what happened there. Another bloody server. This is getting me on a joke, Paul. Seriously. Sort this out, Sony. It's really not good. Don't know what happened there. The problem we're going to have now is I don't think we're going to have the lineup in the correct order from qualifying. So maybe we just get on with it and see how we get on. It should be interesting to see, especially if the grid's mixed up a little bit. Who are we waiting for? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more again, and then we can start. But then another clusterfuck in terms of getting a race started because of these stupid lobbies. It is getting beyond the joke, actually. And to be honest, you know, I was a big advocate as I moved from GT Sport to GT7. The graphics are much better, the car physics are much better, the sounds are much better. I mean, there's a lot much better about GT7 than about GT Sport. But the one downfall at the moment is the lobbies. And I don't understand why a company the size of Sony and a company the size of Polyphony Digital cannot understand how much of a problem these lobbies are at the moment. That we don't seem to have it all working 100%, and we seem to have no end of issues, and they just don't seem to give a shit. And it's incredibly frustrating. You know, they bring out update after update where they bring in new cars that no one wants to fucking drive, and they bring in new tracks, which, you know, don't get me wrong, Rocky's again was a welcome addition, but new menu books and all this palaver, and what we actually want, and what the majority, I think, of people want, is a really good, really stable lobby where everything works properly, and we're not constantly farting around at the beginning of every bloody tournament to get things started. Not everybody can afford a PlayStation 5. It's a simple fact. And you've made a game for 2 platforms. You've made a game for PlayStation 4 and PlayStation 5. So sort your fucking shit out. Do you know what? If you have to dumb it down for PlayStation 5 so it works for everybody, then do it. But don't leave it as it is where it's not fucking working. Because nobody is enjoying this shit. You've got top racers that were competing at World Championship level that all of a sudden are not interested in your game anymore. What you're going to find is these people are going to move on, and they're not going to fucking come back. So get your shit in order. Right, ran over. Everyone's in. Let's just get the fuck started. What is the delay now? So everyone's in. Stormfly's out on track at the moment. Everyone else is sitting in the pits ready to go. We're clearly not going to be starting with the correct grid order because everyone's had to jump out. But what are we doing? Well, let's do it. Let's do it up with Stormfly while we're waiting. Oh, there we go. Alpha. We were waiting for Alpha. So Sardegna A Reverse. Look, let's be fair. It's not a wonderful track forward. Much more complicated in reverse. But I think this is the good thing about it. It's better because it's different and because it's new. And I've just noticed that. Well, my apologies. I thought we had all 11 in, but we didn't. I miscounted. Yeah, sorry. Think about it, because it's in reverse. It's a different, very different experience. And of course, we're going to have to jump out and jump back in again. Of course, what do you expect? Nothing different. There we go. So we finally get to start the race. Don't think the pole's perfect, but it's not too far off in terms of pace. Stormfly on pole, Kevin 77. From Wiggy, Wendigo, GMAC, Alpha, Everyone Shadow, Arminis. He's still putting me on board with Stormfly anyway. And Kevin 77, absolute blinder off the line. Sorry, I've got to do this, but I can't get that view otherwise. Kevin 77 off the line, absolute storming it through. And someone hit a wall there. Who was that? Massive hit at the back there. Look at that. Aldriox smoking. Absolutely smoking at the back there, as is Grizz Troopers. This is what happens when you've got damage on. You've got to keep out of the walls. So where are we? Stormfly is back in the lead. GMAC in second place. Kevin 77 in third. So we've got Stormfly in the Porsche. GMAC, strangely in a non-European car in a European race. Kevin 77, he is running the fantastic AMG GT3. He's in third place at the minute. Wiggy in fourth. He did a car change, has sacrificed the chance of double bubble for that car change. I think that we're going to have to ask GMAC to do the same thing because he's in the wrong car. Alpha, the last week's winner in that AMG GT3, currently back in fifth place. Arminis in sixth. Another smash there. Who's that in a wall at the back? Maybe it wasn't. Well, no, there was definitely a yellow flag. So was that Arminis again in a wall? So yeah, way down the order. So Wendigo up to sixth place. Loving the car, man. Loving the car. Aussie Rooster in seventh. He is in the Jaguar with his, of course, trademark Rooster signage on the back of that. And we see another massive spin. That was Cool Runnings disappearing with Megan Fox into the gravel. Back into 10th place now. We see Audriox through. Is Grizz Troopers through? No, he is already so far back. Well, 3 seconds. But far enough back not to benefit. So the man at the front at the moment is Stormfly. 1.8 seconds clear. So of everybody that doesn't like this track, he's got it dialed in. There is GMAC. So he's not that far clear because GMAC is already closing that gap already. Alpha up to third. Last week's winner. Under some pressure from Wendigo with Kevin 77 at the moment at the back. Alpha looks like he hit the wall there. Wendigo through. Is Kevin through? Is this lag or is this just fisticuffs? It looks to me like awful lag. Very disappointing. Kevin 77 down up to fourth place. Aussie Rooster up to fifth. Wendigo drops down to sixth place. Avalon Shadow in seventh. We know how good he is at fuel saving. Don't let his position on the track fool you in that 911. He will make a couple of overtakes. He will save some fuel and he will surprise you. Arminis there in 8th place in the Yellow Peril Beetle. Audriox in 9th place in the brilliant McLaren. Wiggy way back in 10th place. So lots of carnage on lap 1 and lap 2. And it's all change all over the racetrack. Cool Runnings back in 11th place in the Megan Fox 911. With Grizz Troopers 6 seconds back. Also in the 911. But out front at the moment, the man to beat is Stormfly. And there we go, let's do a lap on board with Stormfly as we see the other way around Sardegna. And I'd love to talk to you around this racetrack. I've never driven in this direction. So you turn left there. You want to drift to this left hand side. You brake probably about the 50-metre board there from my liking. It was quite a big right hand turn there. You're going to get on the power, you go under the bridge. You've got this little right hand kink, which the other way round is quite a difficult turn. But I imagine not quite so bad that way. This is flat out, and you'll be flatter all the way now until the next big braking zone, which is this big right-hander coming up here. So you can kind of get you want the car to go left and brake and turn right at the same time. Then you are down, you go under this blue, which looks like an inflatable banner, and you're on the power of the windmill and the cliffs up ahead. Great view there is to be fair. And you're down kinks to the left-hand side, and again you've got this right-hand turn after a left-hand kink. Keeping it away from those barriers, and there you go again. You've got a big left-hander coming up. You're braking again around this 50-metre ball, maybe a little bit sooner. Clip the apex and get on the power just briefly until you turn right on the power through the dreaded penalty line, which you hope not to be so penalty line. Flat out to the right here, flat out to the left, and then you're on the brakes for the big right-hander before you're back to the start-finish straight. You can't go right over onto that blue. You need to be careful of the gravel if you go too far. And there's a pit lane on your left-hand side to complete lap 3 of this 50 minutes race around Sardegna A Reverse. So Stormfly, great lap from him. Currently 1:40.0 is the fastest lap. He is 5 seconds clear of GMAC. GMAC running a Japanese car in a European tournament. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk it? I'm going to abuse you purely because you didn't read, man. You didn't read. But there you go. And a distinct lack of black flag livery on there as well, buddy. So only did you get the wrong car, you didn't even put the livery on, man. Get with it. Alpha LTU, loving the colours on that car. Just missing a couple of little touches. Oh yeah, black flag, sponsorship. But Alpha was the winner last time out. He's currently in third. He is 5 seconds behind GMAC. So unusually the front three are really spread out. At the moment the battle's here. Alpha in third, Wendigo in fourth, half a second back. We've got Aussie Rooster just 1.7 back in fifth in the beautiful Jaguar. 2.2 back to Avalon Shadow. I said he would make up a place, didn't I? And there he is in sixth in the 911. Closely followed, half a second back, is Arminis in that yellow Volkswagen Beetle. 4 seconds back to Audriox in the McLaren. With Cool Runnings in ninth for company, half a second back. And Wiggy just behind that battle as well in 10th place. Wiggy, remember, changed his car to the Jaguar to forfeit a double bubble opportunity, purely because Bago Spone's absolute launch. Grizz Troopers at the moment in 11th place, 21 seconds behind Wiggy. But surprisingly, very surprisingly, and I was beginning to wonder when we were going to find him, it's Kevin 77, but he has pitted early and he's already around Grizz Troopers to start going on the road. So he pitted early, which is why he is now where he is. So lap 4, very, very early pit here. I was thinking probably lap 5, but lots have got in early. So Stormfly, 14 seconds clear. Aussie stayed out. Avalon has stayed out. Wiggy stayed out. Audriox also has stayed out onto lap 5. Mr. Cool Runnings as well. So the order is already changing, and we can see there are differing strategies. GMAC is the first runner out that has pitted. So 7 seconds to Cool Runnings, 6 to Audriox, second to Wiggy, 7 seconds to Avalon, 1.6 to Rooster, and 15 to Stormfly. He's not going to take the lead, but when these guys start dropping in, he is going to be there or thereabouts. It will be good to see where he pops out. Remember, he was second when he went in. He's come out in 7th. Can he regain second place? Now, he is running the Racing Hard tyres now. And I'm just going to go through actually what is the layout for this race, just to be clear. So it is, especially any European car, GR3, that's not a European car, of course. Fastest first grid, of course, 50-minute race. Weather is preset, the time is in the afternoon. Soft and hard on times 5 is at the time requirements. 50 litres they started with, time 5 fuel, but it's quite a quick refueling rate, 8 litres a second. So not in there for a huge amount of time. There is light damage on, so you've got to be careful if you hit your car into a wall. As we see Stormfly go in, and 16 seconds back we'll see Aussie pulling in. Avalon's staying out for another lap. This guy is a fuel-saving demon. That's the only way to describe him. A fuel-saving demon. He is the scourge of Shell, the scourge of BP. They don't want a guy like him on a racetrack. He's not using all the fuel. He's keeping it for himself and letting it last a long, long time. But Wiggy also doing the same thing. Wiggy also being the scourge of BP. So here we go. So Stormfly has now pitted. He's come out in 3rd place. GMAC is in 4th currently. We will see Avalon go in. We'll see Wiggy go in. And I think our 1, 2, 3 of Stormfly, GMAC, Alpha will remain as it currently is. Looking down the order, everyone else is pitted. Wendigo in 6th place. Aussie in 7th. Just 2.2 seconds behind. And we're starting to see a bit of a racetrack spread. We usually see this after the first stop. And then people kind of start to bunch up again. There's Arminis in 8th. He's not got it all his own way. Grizz Troopers, one of those that have run much longer, he's in 9th place. And Kevin had already overtaken him. Big spin from Grizz Troopers. Does catch Kevin in the interim. Absolutely nothing you could do about that when he spun. But Kevin is through. And he's got past Audriox. It looks like Audriox also got through, but had a bit of a problem. And Kevin goes through up into 9th place. Cool Runnings in 11th. Grizz Troopers finds himself at the back of the pack after that massive, massive spin. So out front, Avalon Shadow currently leads the race by 12.7 seconds. And he does pull into the pits finally. He finally decides to put some fuel on board. Wiggy, he's going to follow him in. He's 12 seconds back. Still got a little way to go before he takes that Jag into the pits. And there he goes. He peels off to that left-hand side. So here we go. Stormfly goes back into the lead. Here he goes. Regains the lead of the race. Alpha, 9 seconds back from Wiggy in a minute. He's got GMAC just behind him. We see him go up into second. GMAC into third. So the top three, Stormfly, Alpha, GMAC, in that order. So GMAC actually losing a place to Alpha in that battle. Alpha starting to show very similar pace to the pace we saw from him last time out. Now at the moment he's obviously going to be earning single points. If he shows this pace at the Nürburgring GP when we go to Germany, that should be in a few weeks' time, he's going to find himself with double points. It's going to get interesting. Avalon Shadow, there he is in fourth. Great coming back out there. That's actually proved to be a phenomenally clever, that's the word. Great strategy. He's 1.8 from Wendigo. Wendigo under some pressure from Aussie Rooster. Is Aussie able to stick his nose, get that nose of that beautiful Jaguar? I love Jaguars, man. Beautiful British car. Beautiful British car. Get that Jaguar past the, I think it's a McLaren, another beautiful British car. So it's the battle of the Brits at the moment. Aussie versus Wendigo. Armin back in 5 seconds back in that very bright yellow Beetle. Let's not talk about the origins of that. Very, very checkered history for Volkswagen. Wiggy, 8th place. He has decided though to fuel long. He's going a lot longer. Him and Avalon went in 16 seconds apart. Avalon only put 3/4 fuel in. Wiggy went for a full tank. He is going long. And I don't think we're going to see him in the pits for quite some time. Now, what was it? Lap 6 they did with half a tank. It's going to be another 12 laps before we see these guys come in. So it's going to be lap 18, lap 19, maybe, before we see Wiggy, or certainly Wiggy going. I think maybe lap 15 we'll see Avalon go. It depends again how much he saves the fuel. Aldrox there under some pressure from Cool Runnings. Is Cool Runnings able to get that Porsche 911 round the McLaren? As you see Kevin also putting pressure on that battle. So we've got Aldrox, Cool Runnings, and Kevin 77 all drag racing it down the pit straight. And at the moment, Cool Runnings is the big winner there. So Aldrox the big loser. Cool Runnings gets round one side, Kevin round the other. Aldrox drops down to 10th place. Cool Runnings up to 8th, Kevin up to 9th place. And this battle is still raging on. And we look on board from Kevin as he chases down Cool Runnings in that 911. Can he get the power of that AMG Mercedes? Can he get the power past the nimble agility of the Porsche 911? A car that is absolutely phenomenal. Once you get the 911 Gold in, it's such a fun car to drive and really can give you exactly what you want. And he's just dropping off a little bit. He hasn't got as much fuel on board as Cool Runnings, so he really needs to get past him and get up the road towards Arminis, because at the moment Cool Runnings can stay out longer than he can. So really it's important to win this battle as soon as he possibly can. Dropping back, further back, Wiggy way back in 11th place, not getting the performance out of this 911, out of the Jaguar that we're used to seeing. We're really used to seeing we get much more out of the Jag, or much more out of any car, but at the moment he's way back in 11th on those hard tyres. Grizz Trooper's also on the hard tyres. He is 41 seconds adrift in the 911, and it won't be long before we see Stormfly just behind him, coming up to lap him on lap 9. What we want to see here is some clean overtakes. Stormfly 6 seconds ahead. He doesn't need to worry about Alpha too much behind him at the moment. Alpha's pulled out a 7.8 second gap on GMAC in third, and we know GMAC is exceptionally fast. Even faster when he's driving a Japanese car in a European tournament. And every time I see you, buddy, I'm going to call it out. But at the moment, his issue is going to be fuel saving. He's already down to half a tank. Although Alpha's still on the softs, Now, I think we actually saw Alpha do this last time out, that he went for a balls-out race strategy to burn out softer tyres early on and use the mandatory hards much later in the race. And it worked out for him last time out. Will it work out for him again? That is the question. Worked out very well for the Goodwood because he won. But GMAC 8.6 seconds back. But he's very comfortable because Wendigo in fourth, the current championship leader, Wendigo, currently leading the championship on 44 points, is 8.5 seconds back from that top three. He's got Aussie Rooster under a second behind him. He's got Avalon Shallow under 8/10 behind him. Arminus is 2.4 seconds back in the in Hitler's Beetle. There you go, I said it. Arminus, there he is in that yellow Beetle. Would have thought you know better, man. I would have expected more than just that little tiny logo on the back. But at least you got one on. Kevin 77. Is he starting to dial this car in? Now, he's driving a great car. Current fastest lap from Stormfly is a 1 at 40.0. So far, the best we've seen from Kevin is a 42.4. Cool runnings 43.3. He's not going to keep up the pace with Kevin for too long. At the moment, he's in that slipstream. He is following him, and they've pulled out a 12-second gap on Audriox. Remember, these two did the double whammy on Audriox. One went left, one went right. They both went past him, pushing Audriox back from 8th to 10th place in one corner. Wiggy, 5.9 seconds adrift of Audriox right now. Got a lot of work to do in that Jag to get up the order. But he is 57 seconds back. He's 57 seconds ahead of Grizz Troopers. Grizz Troopers now being lapped by who? Who is lapping him? Well, there's Stormfly in the lead. 6.2 now clear of Alpha, who's opened that gap up to 11.2 seconds. But he is running the softs. He's going to have to pit again soon. Those tyres are already showing signs of wear. He's got about a quarter of a tank left, but I'm not sure the tyres are going to hold out as long as the fuel will. There's G-Max. He's running those hard tyres. He's got a bit of fuel left. He's certainly going to stay out longer than Alpha. So the question is, how much longer than Alpha? Can he stay out long enough to put in some serious lap times? But we're looking at lap times, and at the moment, the only people on track at sub 141 are Stormfly and Alpha. G-Mac not far off, is a sub 43, not gone sub 42 yet. Wendigo, he's done a sub 42, so currently running in fourth. He is the current championship leader, but showing some good pace. He's 6.5 behind G-Mac at the moment. He's running the hards, but he's got slightly less fuel. Can he save fuel enough to just edge another lap? One more lap over G-Mac would make all the difference. But talking of fuel saving, there is the master of fuel saving, Avalon Shadow himself. He's 2.4 behind that battle for the top four. But as we know, he will take that tank further than anybody else on this racetrack. Aussie Rooster getting really close, looking to make a move. He makes the move. Is there some smoke coming out the back of Avalon's car? There was. He's lost 2 places. Aussie gets through. Arminus gets through. Avalon dropping back to 7th. His fastest lap at the moment, a 42.2. But not great on that lap, a 44.2. Arminus 43.8. Aussie Rooster with a 44.9. So actually, it's not about. He's clearly made a little error there, and that's going to cost him. But he's 15 seconds clear of Paul Runnings. Hasn't got to worry about another car overtaking him now. So I think he's just going to sell into this race, do what he does, and know that he will go longer than the guys in front. There is Cool Runnings on those racing hards. He's found no man's land. And I do talk often about no man's land. It's when a car in this position, the guy in front so much doing that. Aussie into the pits very, very early. Now 16 seconds, certainly enough for Cool Runnings to catch that. So no man's land is no more. He will catch Aussie Rooster. He will be a little bit closer to Avalon Shadow. But it really depends where Aussie comes out. Wiggy now up to 9th place ahead of Kevin, 77. Wiggy with a lot of fuel on board. Kevin with a lot more though. And as we see, who was that? Was that Audriox spinning a little bit? Or was that just maybe a bit of lag? Gridge Troopers 1 minute 18 back, being lapped quite significantly now. Nobody else lapped so far as I'm aware. But the lead out front, there we are, 7.4 seconds over Alpha LTU from the Lithuanian racing team. Alpha will be coming in at the end of lap 12, or maybe lap 13. Let's see if he pulls over to this left-hand side as he comes around now. So he's coming around the last succession of corners. He's got the left-hander, he's got this left-hander here, he's got the big right-hander coming up, then he's on that power. Does he pull over to the left-hand side, or does he stay on the racetrack for another lap? And it looks to me like he is staying out. No, he's not. He's going in. So Alpha into the pits. We will see GMAC through. We will certainly see Wendigo through. We may also see Arminis through, and maybe even Avalon Shadow. Now, what is Alpha going to do in terms of tyres? Is he going to put the hards on and run that long stint on the hards? Is he going to go for another stint on those softs? So there we go. GMAC is through. Wendigo just coming down to cross the line. Wendigo will go through and move up to third place in the championship. Alpha still in the pits. He's still getting fuel on board. Avalon Shadow also going through. Avalon Shadow now up to fourth place. As we see Arminis not go through, but indeed pull into the pits with those hard tyres with zero fuel. So getting rid of those hards early doors. And there comes Alpha. He's out in fifth place. Cool Runnings gets through in sixth. 11 seconds back from Arminis. Is Aussie Rooster close enough to get through past Arminis? As you see, Kevin has got himself past Wiggy up to 9th or 8th place at the moment. They both go through. Arminis is still in the pit. No, Arminis actually comes through in 9th, ahead of Wiggy. Wiggy, though, has only stopped once. So, who are we looking at? Two stoppers. So far, Stormfly has stopped once. GMAC has stopped once. He will be stopping at the end of this lap. Wendigo, he'll be stopping certainly at the end of this lap. Avalon Shadow won't. He'll be staying out. Alpha has already stopped. He will move up a place or two once you see GMAC and Wendigo pull in. Cool Runnings, he won't need to stop for another few laps yet. So a lot of cars out there on very different strategies. Some have decided to go long, some have decided to go short in that second stint. And I think we're going to start to see around lap 15, 16 will be the next load of the next kind of band of strategy going in. So there is GMAC, and then we'll see Wendigo go in without question. Sorry, 3-1. There we go. So Wendigo and GMAC in. Avalon Shadow, he will come through back into the top three. Still a lot of fuel on board from Mr. BP Hater. There he is. Alpha also through. Alpha has already stopped. Now, Alpha is the only one in the top three who has stopped twice already. Stormfly, Avalon Shadow, both still need to stop. Alpha still needs to run the hard compound tyres. He's run 2 sets of softs. He's run now, he's on the mediums. He's still got to run the hard compounds. He's looking to try and take that car pretty long. But he's got to run that extra compound. But there we go. So Avalon at the moment is going to be under a bit of pressure for Alpha. But Alpha is on a charge. Avalon's not too worried about pace at the moment. He's got a pretty steady pace going on. He's got his strategy and he's not going to change it just because the winner last time out is bearing down behind him. Going to be very composed. It looked to me like he clipped the wall there, or was that just a bit of lag? But he's quite happy to let Alpha go through. He'll get a little bit of slipstream around a couple of straights, a couple of corners. A little bit of more fuel saving for him. All good. He is 8 seconds up at the moment from GMAC. GMAC, one of those who has already pit for a second time. We are at 25 minutes almost, halfway point in this European Open GR3. European Open, you say, but GMAC's driving a Japanese car. I know, you're right. It doesn't look like GMAC can read. Sorry, man. I had to do it. Mr. Cool Runnings in 5th place in the beautiful, beautiful Mega Fox 911. Running very well. He's got a couple more laps where he's coming in. He's going to be a lap 16 stopper for me. Lap 16, lap 17 if he wants to save a bit of fuel, but certainly lap 16. There's Kevin. He's running those racing softs. So has he ducked in again and put the softs on? Because I'm pretty sure I saw him on the hard tyres. Not having it all his own way is our resident alien. I've got no doubt that over the coming weeks, as he gets more and more used to the physics of GT7 and more used to the cars, we're going to see the Kevin 77 of old that was dominating races by 10, 15, 20, 25 seconds. At the moment, he's struggling a little bit to dial cars in, but it's a learning curve, and everyone's got to get those extra miles in. And I've got no doubt we'll see amongst the winners very soon. Wendigo back in 7th at the moment with that very cool livery. Very cool, has to be said. Aussie Rooster in the Jaguar. Certainly getting much more out of the Jag at the moment than Wiggy. He's 3.4 seconds behind Wendigo. He's got some pressure behind from Arminis in that canary yellow Volkswagen. A yellow flag there. Kevin has spun. Aussie is through. Looks like Arminis is going to get through as well. Kevin drops back to 9th place. Loses the car again. Really not having the best of times with the AMG. He had a few issues with the AMG, a good one as well. And again, having issues keeping the AMG on the road. But he'll get there, as I said, he'll get there. It's all a learning curve. Wiggy in 10th place didn't get to capitalise on that. But he still needs to stop again. He is running very long. Now, looking at what he's got left on board, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see him in the pits till somewhere around that 19. That will certainly be for me where I would expect to see him jumping in. Audrioc's back in 11th place, not getting the best performance out of that McLaren at the moment. He's 29 seconds behind Wiggy. He's got to have to stop in a couple of laps. But Grid Troopers at the moment, some way back. Lots of scrapes on the side of that car. There has been lots of wall riding for Grid Troopers. As you see, Cool Runnings jumping in. He drops to 10th. He'll probably not drop to 11th though. Audrioc's 49 seconds back. Out in front, there is no change. There is just Stormfly. And he is 6.2 seconds clear still. Absolutely dominating this race. He's been into the pits. He's come back out of the pits. He's on the mediums. He's got a lot of fuel on board. Is it enough to go to the end? Probably not. But he's going to give it a go. There is Alpha. Alpha cannot run to the end on these mediums. He has to go in and put on the hard tyres. He has still got some significant racing to do. He's 5.7 seconds back. He is taking some chunks out of Stormfly, but is he taking enough? Bear in mind that he's got to not only get ahead of Stormfly, who can potentially run to the end, but he's also got to go in. He's got to put on hard tyres and suffer the cornering speed that you lose with those hard tyres. GMAC 9 seconds back, still maintains 3rd place in that very Japanese looking European car. He is 9.2 seconds clear of Avalon. Avalon is going to pop in. Lap 16 we'll see him pop into the pulls off to that left hand side. In he goes. He has run those racing hards. What's his next strategy? Is he going to go to the end on mediums? Wendigo, we'll see Wendigo come through into 4th place. He's on the medium tyres at the moment. He's already had his second stop. He has run those hard tyres. He can now go racing. Can he go racing to the end is the question. There is still 20 minutes left of this race. That's a lot of laps still left. We've done 17 laps and we are 30 minutes in. So we are looking 142, 152, 142 a lap. We're probably looking for the last 20 minutes somewhere around another 13, maybe 14 laps. So a long way to go on that fuel. Wiggy up to 5th place. Held onto that fuel very well. Arminis up to 6th. Aussie up to 7th. Wiggy still not showing signs of going in. Now I said lap 19 he was going to go in. I'm going to predict, and if anyone's watching wants to have a little side bet, nothing in the kitty for it, but a little side bet. I predict Wiggy isn't going to pit until the end of lap 20, and then he's going to go racing softs and go balls out, pedal to the floor, and make top 3. That's my prediction. Arminis, there he is, trying to put some pressure on Wiggy. He's on those hard tyres. He has slightly more fuel on board. He can go a bit longer. Can he make this move? Wiggy not letting him through. He's not leaving the door open. He is making sure that door is very, very firmly closed. If Arminis wants to get round him, he's going to have to do it the hard way. And at the moment, Wiggy is ensuring that the hard way is the only way. Is Arminis just happy to sit in there behind, save a bit of fuel behind Wiggy at the moment? He does have more fuel on board. He won't know that sitting in the car, but he does. Aussie Rooster, he's 6.9 behind this battle, and he's got that Megan Fox 911 of Cool Runnings bearing down on the back of the Jaguar. Running very comfortably midfield. Now, these guys are very solid midfield runners, and I've said this before, you know, if you're looking at Aussie, you're looking at Cool Runnings, particularly in this stage of the race. Avalon's an outlier, just ignore where he is, because that mofo will be fuel saving like a demon and you won't even know it, and then he'll be ninth and then suddenly he'll be second. So ignore him being in that midfield battle. But you know, Arminis, Aussie Rooster, Cool Runnings, they're a really good benchmark for anyone trying to break away as a backmarker into the midfield to show your pace has improved. If you get in and around these guys, you are moving up through the order, absolutely. So there's a good benchmark there. Wiggy, we're not used to seeing him this far down, but he's got a game plan, he always does. And when we see him in 5th place, we know that he's got something planned. Audriox still in 11th place, not having the best of days out there in that McLaren. Audriox giving it a go, but he's 44 behind Kevin. He's 51 ahead of Grizz, but I think these two at the back, they're not really going to battle each other, but they're really not challenging anybody else. They are, but well, he's certainly fueled to the end. Grizz Troopers, he's going to have to come in again and go to the end. Audriox can. Kevin also can. Kevin's going to run the mediums to the end of this race. He's currently 10th. Now, Avalon in front of him will run to the end on those mediums. Can he outpace him? Let's have a look. He's doing 140, 149, 158. That was an in-lap and an out-lap, obviously, 159, 203, I assume. But his fastest pace is a 140.4. Avalon, much slower actually. There is the possibility we could see Kevin 77 catching him. So Aussie goes in, Wiggy goes in, Avalon immediately up to 7th place. We'll see Kevin go through-ish. 33, well, 41 seconds back at the moment. Will he make it in? Top 3, unchanged. Apart from the fact that Stormfly is still way ahead and he's opened that gap to 7.9 seconds. Last week's winner Alpha was absolutely dominant, but this week cannot even get close to the pace of Stormfly, and he's going to have to pit again. Stormfly might be able to let off the gas a little bit and go to the end of this race. We're on lap 20. We expect to see this race finishing somewhere around lap 30, maybe. I don't know, possibly around lap 30. Yeah, I think if we say lap 30, we're there or thereabouts. We've got 20 minutes left. Maybe 31, 32. But there he is, now 9 seconds clear. So maybe you can't make this to the end. There's 14 minutes left, 1 minute 40 lap. Oh, someone doing the math for me. Not very good at the math. It's probably not as much as I think it is actually. 15 minutes left. 2 sets of 15 minutes to 20. So lap 20. Yeah, lap 30. I'm going lap 30. To finish. I should do the math before the race, really. But the problem is, if I do it off my lap time, we only have about 10 laps. But there we go, Stormfly 10 seconds now in the lead. Alpha's not going to bring this to the end. He's got to run the hard tyres. He's got to come in again. I think it's going to be a struggle for him to catch Stormfly. Wendigo up to 3rd place, 29 seconds back off this lead. G-Mac's gone in for his final stop. It looks to me like Wendigo's going to have to go in again. I'm not sure he can run the last 10 laps with the fuel he's got left. So he definitely will have to pit again. He's only 10 seconds clear of G-Mac, who's only 2 seconds clear of Arminis. So Wendigo actually still going to be struggling further down the midfield. Right, Arminis has got to come in this lap as well. That will promote Cool Runnings. Cool Runnings can take this to the end on the hards. Avalon Shadow, without question, is taking this to the end. And he's putting pressure on Cool Runnings already. Is he going to be able to make a move? The quicker he can make the move in the 911, the quicker he can get off up the road. What he does not want to do is be held up behind Cool Runnings. It's great for a bit of slipstream and a bit of saving fuel. But if Avalon wants to make the top 3, he needs to have the pace. At the moment, being held up a little bit by Cool Runnings. Can he get past? There is certainly a couple of overtaking opportunities here. He pulls out, looks to do the little switcheroo. Is the switcheroo on? It's not all it is. He's making what he's trying to. He's round the outside. They're side by side. 911 and 911. They touch. Avalon goes through on the outside like an absolute beast. Gets so much traction out of that corner. Moves up to 6th place. And off up the road after Arminis. Arminis in the pits now. 12.4 seconds up the road. So he's not going to get out before Avalon Shadow and Cool Runnings get through. Wiggy 19 seconds back. With I say Chris Shoops run, but it's not. Chris Shoops is obviously being lapped. Aussie Rooster is 6th behind that. Kevin 77 going to run to the end. He is on the back of Aussie Rooster, looking to make a move, and he's going to make a move this lap. Is there a move here up the main straight? They've got a very similar straight line speed, the Jag and the AMG. But Kevin, to me, just out drags him, pulls in front before they get into the corner. So Kevin moves up into 9th place. Aussie Rooster will run to the end. He's on the mediums. Kevin 77 will run to the end. He's on those mediums. He's past Aussie. He's up to 9th. He's 4 seconds away from Wiggy. Wiggy will run to the end also on the mediums. He is right behind Arminis. Arminis has just come out of the pits. He's on the mediums. He's got a full tank. Full tank, completely unnecessary. That's going to weigh down your car and it's going to affect your lap times there, buddy. So Wiggy is going to be on you like a rash on a very cheap whore. And there we go. So Arminis 18 seconds back from Cool Runnings. Has Wiggy got enough to close up that gap in 9 laps? Or Wiggy's pace, 143s. Arminis' pace. Actually, Arminis' pace is not that far off that of Wiggy's. Wiggy might not even get past him. As we see Alpha from 3rd pull into the pits. Wendigo is 2nd. We know he still needs to pit. Alpha comes out. He's on the medium. Alpha, for me, hasn't run those hard tyres. That's going to be a penalty for Alpha, unless someone can correct me and tell me that he started on them. But I don't think he did. I think he started on the soft tyres, which means he hasn't ran the required compounds. So that will result in a 1 minute time penalty for Alpha at the end of this race. Very, very shocking decision making there. It's all about checking just to make sure. But look, listen, correct me if I'm wrong. He may have run those early on and I missed it. But I don't think he's run those hard tyres. We'll certainly check. And if I'm wrong, I will apologise. But I don't think I am. I'm wrong often, but I don't think I am this time. Oh, he did start on half, did he? Thank you very much. As I said, I'm wrong most of the time. And again, I was wrong. As I said, I really should write this shit down. But if I'm not blagging it, it's not as fun, is it? So, Alpha is on the mediums. He's going to the end of the mediums. But again, he's put a lot of fuel in for someone running to the end of this race. If we consider that Stormfly, I don't know, can he? He's going to have to go in again. He seemed to have burnt that fuel, but he is 40. Well, he's a pit stop clear. So actually, it's not so much of a big deal. Wendigo, he's definitely got a pit. He's going to come in now. There we go. We've seen him peel off. Alpha will go through. GMAC will go through. GMAC's going to run to the end. Avalon Shadow. Now look, we know Avalon Shadow will take that half tank to the end without even struggling. Alpha's put on a full tank. We've also seen Arminis put on a full tank. When actually what they should have done was put on a little bit less fuel, because the weight does play a factor in terms of the lap times. And what you want to be at the end is you want to be racing. There is Wiggy on the back of Kevin 77. Pace is very, well, I say very similar. Kevin has turned this shit on in the last few laps. He has gone from bouncing off the walls, spinning the car, doing 45, I say that, as a massive wobble from the AMG. But he is now chucking in blistering times, 1:41.6. That is really, really solid race pace. And there we go. Another great lap from him. He is 16 seconds back from Avalon, who doesn't have to stop again. He's only a second ahead from Arminis and Wiggy, who are having a massive battle between them. Neither of them want to give this up. But Wiggy and Arminis, I feel, are going to be battling this right to the very end. In fact, all three of them I think are going to be battling to the very end. As we see some blue flags coming out. Those blue flags are for Aussie Rooster. As we see Stormfly coming through. So the battle for 6th, 7th and 8th is going to have some effect on Stormfly's charge. And it is nothing more than a charge out front of this race. Audriox is 1 minute back. British Troopers another minute further back than that. These two are not in this race at all today. Stormflies though is coming on the back of Aussie right now. Aussie in 9th place. He's 47 seconds, a pit stop and a bit ahead, and he's going to jump in. And I'll tell you what he's going to do. He's going to splash a few laps of fuel in, about 5 or 6 laps of fuel in, and then he's going to stick on the soft tyres and he's going to fuck off up the road. That's exactly what he's going to do. Alpha there in 2nd place, 48 seconds behind. I was corrected, he did start on hard tyres, which actually goes to explain why his early pace wasn't what we were expecting. He's now in 2nd, but I fear today the win is just going to elude him. He's got some really good performance out of AMG, and some beautiful colours on it. Beautiful colours. And next time, Mr. Alpha, I would like to see a black flag and a couple of sponsor logos, if you please. Thank you very much. On that car, but it is beautiful. GMAC in 3rd. Yeah, what can we say about that very European-looking Japanese car? He's 12 seconds back. I think that's where he will stay. He will go to the end. Avalon Shadow 20 seconds back. He's got Cool Runnings just in behind him. He's on the mediums. He's got enough fuel to go to the end. Cool Runnings was on the hards, and he's touch and go on fuel. He's only on a quarter of a tank of fuel, which for me is going to be a very difficult task to take to the end unless you have the miserly fuel abilities of someone like Avalon or Wiggy or Yellow Sausages or someone like that who really doesn't like using the fuel. Sorry, losing my voice. I needed to wet the whistle. So there we go. Cool Runnings in 5th in the Megan Fox 911. Kevin 77 up into 6th place. Unusual to see this guy in the midfield, but at the moment he's dominating that midfield. Pressure from Arminis, but is there enough pressure from Arminis to make a difference? And is the pace of Kevin, I mean 141, I mean he had a 143 last lap, but steady 141s, 142s before that. To Cool Runnings 146, 144, 145. So actually, I'm not entirely sure that Cool Runnings is safe. There is still about 6 laps, 5 or 6 laps remaining. What are we, 44, so yeah, maybe 4 laps remaining. Let's go with 4 laps. 4 laps remaining for these guys. He's only 8 seconds ahead, and he's losing out at the moment somewhere in the region of 6 seconds a lap. So in 2 laps time, he's going to have Kevin breathing down his neck. And now Kevin is bringing along with him Arminis for the party, and Arminis is bringing Wiggy for the party. He's only 2.5 behind, but he's going to have to be careful with his fuel. So he is relying on the guys out front having an absolute fucking shocker and hitting a wall, or hitting each other. That would be the ideal. What he wants is to see the battle for 5th between Kevin and Arminis and Cool Runnings culminate into a massive ding-dong battle, and then he can close up, because at the moment he's dropping off the pace, and maybe a little bit of underfueling in the last race. Is he wishing he stuck with the Bago Spanners, or is he still happy with the choice of the Jaguar? At the back of the pack, still Order Octane British Troopers, giving it a good showing of it, but they're actually lapping now very similar times to that of Cool Runnings, who is going to be under some pressure pretty soon. But top 3, there we go. So Stormfly has gone in. He has splashed some fuel in, probably a bit more than he needed, and put on those soft tyres. And he is 20 seconds clear of Alpha from the Lithuanian racing team. So there he is, 20 seconds clear, 21 seconds clear. I don't think this race is in any doubt for Stormfly VR46. The VR46 being obviously a tribute to the great Valentino Rossi. And Kevin jumping into the pits. Now I thought he might be able to run to the end. But what he's going to do, he's going to put on some softs and he's going to absolutely fucking melt it. without question. There is Alpha. He's gone for the mediums at the end. Started on the hard tyres, as I was corrected. He is now 16 seconds ahead of GMAC, lapping a very, very solid pace. Bearing in mind that he's not even on the softs. GMAC settled into a sort of 43, late 43, early 44 rhythm. 20 seconds ahead of Avalon. And as every lap goes and that gap stays at 20 seconds, I think this race has become, the top three is a little bit out of reach of Avalon. So do you know what? I'm going to have to eat my hat, because I said that Wiggy was going to end up top three, didn't I? So I've absolutely fucking balls that one up. There we go. Don't listen to me. My predictions are rubbish. Avalon in fourth, 20 seconds back. He's got Mr. Cool Running 7 seconds behind him. Cool Runnings is going to have to splash and dash, I'm afraid. He is not going to take this to the end. That is going to see him under pressure from Arminis, under pressure from Wiggy, under pressure from Aussie, maybe even under pressure from Kevin 77. Can Kevin, now he's got 11 seconds, he's got 3 laps in 11 seconds to close up on Aussie. Aussie has, well, that's not going to help Aussie staying ahead, going off the track there. So that gap will tumble now after Aussie hits that wall. Although it looks to me like Kevin might have a problem, because the gap hasn't tumbled as much. Well, it has started tumbling now. There we go. 8.4, 8.3, 8.2. Yeah, it is dropping. So not out of the runnings now. So there we go. Wiggy behind Arminis. Arminis 5th. Wiggy in 6th. The gap is 2.8 seconds. Cool Runnings in the pits. Aussie Rooster. There he goes. He comes through. He is in 7th place. Where's Cool Runnings? He's still in the pits. He's not left yet. Where's Kevin? There's Kevin coming through now. Where is Cool Runnings? He's just coming out. He's going to come out behind that battle. 2.6 seconds behind. And he's going to be lapped very soon by the man that is flying, Stormfly himself. And of course, all Drops and Chris Troopers, no change out of the rear. So, what did I say? I said it's touch and go for that 11 seconds. Well, it's already 6 seconds on the next lap before we've even got in one lap entirely round from that point. So Aussie is going to be under some pressure. Is Cool Runnings going to be racy enough to close up on Kevin? Yet to be seen in terms of pace. Is Wiggy safe? Well, 8 seconds would suggest so. He's 4 seconds back on Arminis. Doesn't look to me that he's got enough. Well, he's going to take this to the end, no question. He may run out on the last lap, but Arminis, you know, I said he put too much fuel on board, but actually he's been able to go really, really racing, and that's helped him out here, to be fair. So I take back what I said. I mean, you still probably could put less fuel in the fuel saved a bit, but you decided to go balls out instead, and credit to you. But he's got 11 seconds to make on Avalon. Avalon's not going to let that happen, but he's not going to close the 19 seconds of GMAC. So top 3, Stormfly 26 seconds clear in the in that beautiful Porsche 911 GT3. 26 seconds up from Alpha in the equally beautiful AMG GT3. But that, I mean, that car, I mean, the livery on that car is fucking lovely. Really impressed with that. That would be something I would be proud of. Not as proud of, obviously, as the Megan Fox 911, which is the most beautiful car on the track. Well, second most beautiful after, of course, the tribute to me. The narcissist in me is loving when D goes tribute to me. Thank you very much, mate. GMAC, 25 seconds back. Really good race. Absolutely phenomenal to take that European Mazda. That really famous European car manufacturer Mazda. World renowned they are for making European cars. Now, to be fair, they do make cars in Europe. They're just not a fucking European car. But he is 28 seconds back from Alpha. He will finish comfortably on the podium in 3rd place. Good race from him. Bearing in mind that he's always saying how bad he is at fuel saving and tyre saving. Didn't do too bad job a day today, mate, did you? Did quite a good job today. Avalon Shadow going to finish for me. Going to finish in 4th place. We are just passing the 50-minute mark. So there we go. Whatever lap you're on now is your last lap. There we go. GMAC finishes 3rd. Avalon will cross the line and finish in 4th place. I need to keep an eye on the other two where they're going to finish. There's Arminis. He's going to come home in 5th. Audriox will come home in 10th at the same time. So there we go. So we've got 3 real banks of finishes here on lap 28, lap 27, and lap 29. So Arminis is through. Here comes Wiggy, 8 seconds back. Is Kevin going to take him? Kevin took Cool Runnings. Kevin on the line takes 6th place from Wiggy. Literally on the line. Now that was almost a photo finish. And I'll tell you what, I said he was going to go racing, didn't I? What an absolute fucking rocket that was. Last lap. Absolutely melted that. Credit to him. So Wiggy finishes 0 fuel in 7th. Cool Runnings 8th. Aussie is another. We see Stormfly coming home in the lead. There he goes. Alongside Wiggy. And we see Alpha 29 seconds down the road. He'll come back in 2nd place. But there's your order. Stormfly from Alpha, from GMAC, Avalon Shadow, Arminis, Kevin, Wiggy, Cool Runnings, Aussie Rooster, Audriox, Grizz Troopers, and fuck me, what a good race that was. And I'm reduced to swearing because of just how mental that finish was. What a finish from Kevin. He was 11 seconds back from Aussie at one stage, and ended up in 6th on the line. And, you know, 2 more laps, he probably would have caught Arminis as well. Phenomenal finish. And doesn't quite get the fastest lap, but pretty damn close. So, phenomenal racing from everybody. Wiggy, poor shame from them today, actually. Really struggled in the bag of spanners last week. Struggled again in the Jaguar today. Great race, though, from everyone. But there is your winner. Stormfly VR46. Pole position, clean race. That is the and the fastest lap, of course. That is the triple whammy, as we like to call it. But Alpha couldn't recreate his route to last week. Finishes in 2nd place. So there we go. Another race over in the European Open GR3. Top 3 were Stormfly, Wiggy, and GMAC. Stormfly in the very European German 911. We had Alpha in the very European German Mercedes AMG GT3, and we had GMAC in the very European Japanese Mazda. We'll have a chat later, GMAC. You've got to change your car, buddy. We'll give you that one, but you do need to change your car, and you need to change it for one that you can't get double points in, unfortunately, my friend. So there we go. All done and dusted. That race is over. We move on. Tomorrow is Friday. Now tomorrow means we've got the same car tournament. The very impromptu. It popped up lunchtime Friday last week in the Renault Megane Trophy, which is a really cool car. But it's the same car trophy. That'll be tomorrow, and then Saturday we're back to the 2nd half. Can you believe we're all in the 2nd half of Black Flag Bullshit? Absolutely phenomenal. On Saturday, I think we'll be seeing a number of these guys back here at that stage. Let me just say that replay before it disappears forever. Then Sunday we've got the Shenanigans on a Black Flag Sabbath, which is 3 races, 3 different sets of tyres, 3 different tracks. Choose wisely. I'll be racing in that because that's and then Monday we'll have a little break. But don't forget, we've got a lot of cool stuff coming up. If you like this video, subscribe. If you don't subscribe, come back and watch again anyway. Tell your friends. Click that subscribe button, and then you'll know when I go live, and you can watch me live. It's been emotional. I've been umpire. This has been Black Flag E-Racing in the European Open GR3. That insane laughter in the background is my 7-year-old daughter, 8-year-old daughter, who's an absolute nut job. But thank you very much for listening and watching, and I will catch you later.